So let's see if we can speed through the last one, because I don't think there's a lot of content here, or there's a lot of stuff, but it's all fairly simple. This is all typography. So fonts, font weight, italicization, how to get different fonts, etc., etc., etc. All right, little King and I joke right there. All right, so yeah, typography, great. Yep, cool. So you got font family. Font family is basically the what just everyone refers to as the font, right? So you've got Times New Roman, Roboto, Helvetica, Arial, etc. The best is Arial because it's sans serif, in my opinion, or at least like the best default would be Arial, because it's easier for a lot of people to read. I don't like how essays are written in HTML. I'm sorry, in HTML in Times New Roman. Yeah. So anyway, multi-word values have to be inside of quotes, and then you can also have basically. So in order to apply a font family, you say H1. Your font family is Arial. Okay. You put it in quotes if it's multi-word. If there are fallback fonts, or sorry, if there is a font that is not available, or that your browser cannot read, you need a fallback font. The fallback font is always Times New Roman. Every single time, that's the default font. It's not like the text won't display, because we haven't been applying font family this whole time, and it defaults to Times New Roman. I just about said HTML again. So it goes in priority of left to right. So you've got font family, Castellan, Georgia, and then Times New Roman, which you don't need to put this one in because that's the default. If those two are not available, it will default to that. All right. It's getting late. It's like 12 a.m. right now. Anyway, so yeah, you've got serif and sans serif, which this is a little ironic that the serif display has no serif and sans serif, whatever. So serif basically stands for the little ends of letters. My preference is to not have them. It's a little bit more readable because just from what I have heard about and read about dyslexia and various other things, it's just more user-friendly and more globally friendly. So people, generally, websites tend to not use serif fonts. As you can see, this entire thing is using serif. Google is not using serif. Microsoft does not use serif. So why would you? Why would you? Doesn't really make sense. I go to a website, find one that reads it, has a serif font, and it's going to be unreadable. It's going to be annoying to read. You are so used to sans serif. It is just better. All right. Anyway, that is just my opinion. Do what you want with that. All right. So we're going to change all of H1 to be Georgia. So the thing is, I'm in Idaho. I'm not sure if this will work. All right. What was it? Font family. Great. Let's run that. So now this thing is Georgia. Cool. That looks a little bit better than that. Wait. Is that what it changed? Whatever. I don't care. All right. Editorial to that. Okay. So it's having us practice a multi-word one. So editorial. Editorial. Where are you? Font family. So you have to put it inside of quotes because it's a multi-word. And a fallback of Times New Roman and serif. Although this is obvious. I would recommend putting these in a different order. If you wanted to start with, if you wanted to fall back onto a serif font, and then Times New Roman. Oh, this is fine. It's out of order. This will basically fall back onto a serif font that is default in your browser, and then I'll go to Times New Roman. But it doesn't want me to do that. It wants me to do that. Great. Cool. Font weight. This is how bold it is. And it goes in increments of 100. And yeah, it's how bold it is from 100 to 900. Oh, 1 to 1,000. But it's common practice to use increments of 100. Okay. You can do increments of 1, but you generally don't. All right. So font weight 700. Okay, so banner P selector to lighter. So banner P selector. Change the weight of elements with the dot banner P selector to lighter dot banner P. That. Okay. So font weight. So yeah, this is similar to colors. Font weights have words associated with them. So bold, light, lighter, etc. Bolder. Those are all things. They have 1-to-1 correlation with the 100 to 900. Yeah. So wonder what that changed. I don't care. I don't care. Apologize for the yawn. Really unprofessional of me. Font weight 900. So dot header font weight to 900. That's probably going to change all of those to 900. Yep. Generally you don't do 900 because they tend to overlap and it looks kind of bad. But yeah, you want a little bit of space. All right, next. Font style. Okay, yep. You've got italic. You've got underline. You've got cross out. You've got all sorts of things. What are all the font style things? Font style from CSS. You've got normal, which is that. Italic, which is that. Oblique, which is the same. Oh, you can change the degrees? Oh, I didn't know this. 30 degrees. 100 degrees. Oh, it won't allow you to do it. 50. 10. 30. 60. That's cool. All right, I learned something. That's fun. All right. You also have cross through and various other things that it's not showing you. Maybe it's not called cross through, but underline is also a font style. I'm fairly certain. All right, so in the web page features, Garamond Helvetica, which is what Bootstrap uses. I keep talking about Bootstrap. It is a thing to make it so you don't have to write CSS a lot. Because CSS is very easy to get deep in the weeds and make things bad. So, font card creator to italic. Font card creator, font style, italic. Run. Great, now it's all angled that way. And it's probably that. Great. Text transformation. Oh, maybe it's this. Oh, no, it's not this. Text transform basically allows you to do uppercase or lowercase. I don't really use this. If I need to do uppercase or lowercase, I generally am writing in doing that stuff in JavaScript or CS. God dang it, I keep saying CSS. What I mean, other things. TypeScript. Transform. Maybe it's not transform. Is it transform? Text transform. Transform is another property that will allow you to change the block style to being different things. So if you want to transform and then translate it by 50%, 50%, it'll move it over so that the center of it is in where the top left corner will be, like that kind of thing. You can transform and augment the shapes of things. That's kind of cool. All right, text layout, letter spacing, word spacing, line height, text align. These are all pretty obvious. So letter spacing, space between letters. Word spacing, space between words. Line height, you've got the height of the line. Text align, either right, left, center. With anything over one line, don't do anything but left. Just don't. If it's one line, you can do center, left, or right. But if it's over one line, like this, don't have it be centered. It is just less readable. It's always better to have it aligned left because you start on the left and you want to have it on the same vertical alignment for when you start. It's easier for your eyes and easier to read. So this is not good, in my opinion. and in a lot of people's opinion. Generally, I don't change the line height or the letter spacing or word spacing. I just don't. It works fine as is. So letter spacing 2.3 on the H1. This might look like trash. Letter spacing 0.3 EM. Not EDM. Haha, that's funny. Great. Yeah, that looks terrible. What? You have to do 0.3 EM? Okay, it's the same thing. Banner, thing, banner P, word spacing. Great. Banner P, line height 1.4. So now this will change it vertically. This is getting less and less readable by the second. And text alignment of P to justify. So justify evidently makes it a solid block. Again, well, while this kind of looks kind of nice, you have to be careful with this because your word spacing can get really big if you have long words and you're not careful about how you do it, especially when you start doing stuff like this. It can look nice. Just be careful with it. That's all I have to say. If it looks nice, it looks nice. All right. Yay. Web fonts. Fantastic. Great. Yeah, so you can import fonts in your HTML using link. So in the meta tag, in the head, the meta information, well, not meta, but meta is different. So you can link your style.css and your reset.css. Ooh, that's interesting. Style reset.css. Huh. Cool. Anyway, so they're linking different things. Now you can import from other servers, so from other domains. So we're going to be importing something. We're going to be navigating from Google Fonts and space mono. That's not right. Maybe that is. Space mono. Be funny if they deprecated this. And you couldn't actually do this, meaning you couldn't complete this section. That'd be really funny. All right. So I have to get font. I'm going to embed code. And so I'm going to copy. I'm not going to copy all that crap. I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go here and paste it into that. Run. Yay. Now my typography is that. And then I'm going to... Stupid. Come on. Styles. There we go. Space mono. So font family. Space mono. Mono space. So the whole point of this is it's going to try to use that font, and if it doesn't work, it's going to try to use a monospace font. So as you can see that worked, I think. Yeah, that looks about right. Great. Yeah, font face. I don't ever use this because I always use the link thing, but you can import using the import using something else. Using this thing. So let's change the font for the banner. Open up fonts directory from the navigator. Fonts. We got all of those fonts. So we're going to import. Okay, let's see how this works. Font face. Banner. So we're going to give a font face and property as banner, glagoo banner. Great. And we're going to be importing the local files that. So that. And this is a WAF2 or WOF2. That's a WOF2. And that's a TTF. Oh, wait, that's a WOF. That's a TTF. Great. True type. All right. So now at the top of CSS. Oh, it's just at the top. Yeah, generally it's a good idea to put those things at the top. Yep. Run. Yay, that worked. So now within font face, add a source property. I already did that. What? Okay, what did I not do right? It's probably some indenting wrong. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's actually fair. Okay. So all I have to do is enter the right. Yeah, that is actually completely valid. So the problem is it's inside of here right now, and it wants to look inside of here, and it's in a different folder. So yeah, let's get that. Whoops. That and that. Okay. So I'm moving back a folder into fonts. So I'm from here moving back into the files folder and then into fonts. That's all it's doing. And then it's pulling those. Inside the banner P, I am going to make font family Legu banner. And evidently it wants those in quotes. Maybe it doesn't. Doesn't really matter. Great, we have imported something. All right, so if you see stuff like this, this is a binary file. Don't edit it ever. I was just curious what it looked like. Anyway, cool. So yeah, typography. You've got different fonts. You've got different font weights, font styles, alignment, letter spacing, word spacing, yada yada yada. You can import using Google Fonts, using using HTML, which in my opinion that's more of an HTML thing than a CSS thing. But I'm okay with it being inside of here because it's also done with font face, which basically assigns these things to being a global variable Glagoo banner. There are other ways to do variables, but that's how you do that. So I think we are done with CSS, which is not quite right. We've got a lot of CSS to do because you still have flexbox and grid and variables and all sorts of other cool things. But yeah, CSS.